wanted to hurt him. And I think that is really worth unpacking. Again, the thing that I think is so interesting about Nikki's story is that we're having a conversation about her 17 years ago versus today. 17 years ago, she was Nicole Sanders, who was a little bit more understated. She was stealth. She had far fewer surgeries, and she definitely was a little bit less comfortable with people knowing that she was transgender. And these days, she's more so Nikki Exotica, this larger-than-life pop star alter ego that she embraces even in her daily life. And she's no longer hiding that she's transgender in the way that she once did. But both now and then, there's still a degree of insecurity. And a lot of her insecurity is informed by her fear of rejection.
I want to show something. It's like instructions for us to understand the matter of each other.
Couples love, and you don't do that with me.
I think when she was younger, she feared rejection purely because it hurt. And these days, she fears rejection because she doesn't want to waste her time, which I completely identify with. But in so many ways, this is a conundrum that she set up for herself. On one hand, she wants to date a man who is proud to be with her, who fully accepts her, and is completely comfortable with anybody knowing that he's in a relationship with a transgender woman. But on the other hand, because of her rejection-informed insecurities, she is dating this heterosexual dude from a conservative area.
Oh no!
Who have an incredibly hard time with that guy.
Damn, I killed her.
Is Justin not exactly being comfortable with Nikki being transgender? When Nikki gets to Moldova,
I think I'd be more careful.
The advantage is mine.
I am here to support.
Bobby's here. We've got to defend that point.
I'll hang out here for a bit until it's time to see my friends or something. Oh my god, that is so straight of you. Fuck! These motherfuckers get my nerves.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective
Checking in.
Oh, I love the frowny emojis. I know, strophobic of me. Motherfuckers with my nerves. That's some weak ass niggas. Hey, Akame. Thought you didn't say hi already.
I must return to my post. I am here to support.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Fuck! Oh my god! Oh, like I can't, it's hard to like really get to get on them, because they just do this nonsense. It's like, get the fuck out of my face. I'm so glad that when they show the game, like they show the timers and everything, because it is a little suspicious the way they respond.
Could I get some dealing?
Alright, so 2 people have their ults ready. So yeah, don't trust it. Really? Shit! Ah! Like I'm pissed because I can't move.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Now we're talking. We're gonna just let him take it.
Defeated.
I want to say the F word right now, but I'm trying to chill a little bit. No, like I just wanted to say it already, but like I'm trying to kind of avoid it a little bit, cause like I don't want to get canceled, but it's probably already gonna happen. It is what it is.
She is going through it. It's been a really long time, and she is feeling a little frisky, and she starts to really lay the innuendo on thick, and Justin doesn't really seem interested. And this is obviously really frustrating to Nikki because things have changed, right? Before, they used to really be apparently really sexual and they had crazy sex all the time, nonstop. But now that he knows that she's transgender, he's been a little bit distant. It's clear to me that Justin is attracted to her, but he's still wrapping his mind around her being in Moldova.
Well, it's 42 million for me, Onyx. I'm like Sniper Wolf. Only difference is I don't talk to children on Omegle, and tell them to twerk. And I don't dox people either, so.
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you. Be uplifted.
Is that you, E54? I barely recognized you.
Expect nothing.
Feeling more powerful?
You may certainly try.
Think I won't.
I think you can't.
Ha!
5, 4, 3, 2,
Amplifying your power.
1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
I really gotta learn the matchup of these new characters because I do not know the power they hold.
This will just take a moment. Not on my watch. This will help you. Speeding up.
Objective A captured. Commence attack objective B.
Let me fix you up. Come on, stand up. Lie down.
Alert! Sniper located.
Right
they have a mercy too. No, you nigga! Oh god. Ugh.
Making a full recovery.
I'm not letting go of the objective.
They have us outnumbered.
Meet your fate.
No, I don't want to talk to you. You're a predator. You're weird. Oh, y'all are some weird ass niggas. Like, how do you just look over there and then just shoot me? Robot.
I must return to my post.
You need to leave me alone because I want to talk right now.
Be uplifted. Vitality level increased.
I need you to walk over here. God, we're wasting my time. It has. I just woke up. I mean, it's good for me, at least for now. Now that the semester is basically over. Because literally, once accounting, like, basically I finished accounting, and the grade's done, and it was a B, I'm like, that's all I basically need. Like, ain't nothing else can really stop me at this point. Yo, y'all are some weird ass niggas. Like, I can't leave me alone for 2 seconds? You gotta stalk me?
Medical technologies. My ultimate is charging. Monstering you. What happened to you?
I got 60 seconds remaining.
No!
Heroes never die.
What? You know that. Tough to get in when you got 5 niggas on your back. I don't know how it exited me out, but okay.
Because again, Moldova is incredibly conservative, and he has a lot of insecurity about being out with her and about how safe that may or may not be.
Yes, our relationship not on the physical. It's more like soul, like her, like something. Different words. I need to spend time with you and guys.
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you.
I craft my own arrows, each one a
Another
meditation.
major thing
I am here to support.
Moldova is that Nikki has a sort of glamorous,
What's on your mind, mate?
I'm thinking of what I have lost.
Style.
What, your keys,
It kind of makes her
arrows,
stand
the
out
snacks?
in
I've got
Moldova,
snacks.
where the women are typically a bit more stressed. So Justin spends a lot of time asking Nikki to be a bit more simple, and this obviously really bothers her because she feels like she's being asked to change, and she doesn't want to do that for anybody.
You have. You want no makeup? You want asshole? Go date a Russian girl. You know, from the very beginning, 17 years ago, I wore makeup, and I still wear makeup, and that's never gonna change. So why are you not
Come on. Like, why do you sit there and, like, bum rush me? Like, are you that desperate?
My skills are still needed.
Enemy turret on your left!
fuck?
Heroes never die.
Kind of hard to get in because nobody was pushing themselves because they're avoiding everything. Like, go in, you have a mercy for a reason. Use it. Is what I'll say to that. Because I'm not risking my life for you. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes, I think to some degree, Justin is worried about people looking at Nikki, knowing that she's transgender, and that reflecting negatively on him. I think that's there to some degree. But I actually think a much bigger thing here is that Justin personally is just more attracted to women who have a more modest style. I think that Justin personally is more attracted to women who are a little bit more simple. It's pretty clear that is his preference because he...
No, mercy shows mercy for the teammates, so that way the teammates can do what my traditional job as a first-person shooter player would be, to kill the other opponents. But I'm a healer and damage booster, so if I'm healing and damage boosting you, you have the advantage, and you guys are together, so go ahead and kill these people. Like, what are you doing?
mentioned it all throughout. And here's the thing about it. You're going to notice we're going to keep coming back to this point because this is really the big point I'm trying to make in this video. But she's trying to date this conservative man. And conservative men are conservative, right? So they're not going to necessarily be attracted to women who go out and dress provocatively, right? Like, obviously, some of them are attracted to that in the bedroom, right? They're attracted to that in certain contexts, right? But if you're going to be a transgender woman in a relationship with a conservative man, you could basically assume that what they're going to want from you is for you to be respectable in public and not embarrass them more than you potentially could. And that's the shitty pressure that you end up being in when you try to date one of these men, because a lot of conservative men are very invested in their image, and if he's going to be a conservative man dating a transgender woman, he's going to date a very feminine transgender woman who presents herself in a ladylike fashion, right? That's how it is. And girl, during my pick me era, there were a lot of conservative men who loved that I was a smart girl who dressed a certain way and didn't act like those hoes, basically. What you get when you try to date a conservative dude is they're going to be a little bit more hypercritical. Now, if you look at older pictures of Nikki from the time where they met, she actually did used to wear fairly minimal makeup, and I think that is probably what he's more attracted to. And I think that what happened with Nikki is, speaking from experience, when you are trying to be stealth, you spend a lot of time avoiding drawing attention to yourself, right? Because stealth for a lot of people, people think it's being pretty. It's really not that. It's passing, right? And part of that is fading into the background and not drawing attention to yourself. And I think that when Nikki was trying to be stealth, that was reflected in the way that she presented herself, right? I think that she was not a look at me kind of person back then. But since they've known each other, Nikki has become a lot more comfortable in her skin. She's more openly transgender, and now she really doesn't want to tone it down. And I know that for some transgender women especially, when you have dealt with having your presentation criticized and scrutinized, when somebody does it in the context of a relationship like this, it could feel like you're being asked to get into another closet. And I can tell that is how Nikki sort of feels when Justin is saying this to her. And let's be real, even if he's just expressing a preference, it is still controlling to some degree, right? To some degree, I agree with Nikki where she says, this is me, you have to accept it or leave, right? But at the other point, again, she's dating a very conservative man. And personally, for me, I am a dress for the occasion in the space kind of person. I definitely dress differently in the city than I would going back to Orange County, and that just is what it is. There are certain social mores that I think maybe because I'm used to playing into them, I'm used to doing them, but I still feel like dressed for the space, and I think in the town of your conservative man who has made it very clear to you that this is a thing he's concerned about, I don't know if it is the biggest concession in the world, frankly. And here's the thing. Nikki could date a man who absolutely loves her glamorous style, but it's really clear to me that Nikki prefers to date this particular type of conservative man, and I think that this is worth unpacking. Earlier in the season, she shares that one of the reasons why she wants to give this relationship another chance is that she thinks it may be her last chance to meet a man who is heterosexual, who wants to marry a transgender woman. And when I heard her say that, I thought to myself immediately, that doesn't sound right, because I've certainly dated many heterosexual men. But that's the thing, I dated them, I didn't marry them. And I started really thinking about this, and I thought Nikki had this really adorable experience where a man really loved her and decided that he wanted to marry her. And I feel that for her, she may feel like something like that is straight up never going to happen again. And so she needs to cling to this relationship in order to see it through to the end and to see if it could be. But I think that for her, him being a heterosexual man is particularly validating, right? It's particularly validating that she is in a relationship with a guy like that who wants to be in a relationship with a woman like her. And for a lot of transgender women, is an idealistic person. He is a heterosexual man who has never been a transgender woman before, who, above all odds, against all odds, met a transgender woman, fell in love with her, and is into her, and a lot of people are watching for their stories. Why would you see this relationship? This is why, because you...
No, please, just leave me the fuck alone. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have to be, like, so weird, man? Like, this ain't funny. What the fuck is he doing?
Against all odds, this guy who would usually date a transgender woman wants to date you, a transgender woman. And what happens sometimes is you end up in these situations where, yeah, you got a man, but he ain't much of one. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes how I felt when I was watching this, right? Justin's cute or whatever, and I know that there are plenty of people who would probably look at Justin and be like, why did he pick her and done? And I think that maybe she might enjoy the idea of feeling jealous about them being in a relationship, right? But like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to marry a man who I wasn't sure wanted to have sex with me, right? So it's very clear to me that Nikki places Justin on a pedestal because he's a certain type of guy who is willing to be with someone like her. We also find out that Nikki has apparently been giving him money, and one of her friends actually accuses her of being his sugar mama. And during an argument, we find out that she apparently pays for his nose job, which was $7,000 apparently. And I gotta say, I would not be able to tell that he's had work done. Whoever his surgeon is, can give me their number.
Please.
Now, I could be...
Please leave me alone. Please stop stalking me. Please stop stalking me, fat... Like, y'all are some stalking ass niggas. If you want the pussy, you could just ask. You don't have to stalk me like that. That's so weird.
No one can hide from my sight.
Doesn't mean I'll say yes though. But I don't like you like that.
I'll return the shake. Need some assistance.
You guys have to do this crap.
Magnificent shot, even from me.
On the objective, where are you going? Here.
Heroes never die. Dedicated the objective. Convenient. Touch me up.
You did it. Ooh, I am so glad. I saw all them teammates in that area. I'm like, absolutely not. It's time to damage boost. That's some fire aim right there. I don't know how they do it. Their aim's pretty good when they use the character the right way.
Impression that Justin does love Nikki and is willing to go through all of the things he's gone through, losing his friends and family in order to be with her, because he does love her. And I don't get the impression that he's using her for money. I'm sure that's nice, but I don't get the impression that he wouldn't be with her if that wasn't the case. He, from what we can tell, has gone through a lot to be ostracized from his community in order to be in a relationship with her. It's hard for me to buy it. Also, America is not that great. I could be wrong about that, but that is definitely the impression that I have. However, there is still the issue of fitting a square peg into a round hole.
If something doesn't change, and like seriously, I think this is so beautiful, just thank you. But literally you have within like 48 hours to change my mind, or I'm literally leaving.
Now, after 2 days of Justin rejecting Nikki in Moldova, she has finally had enough, and she decides to give Justin an ultimatum. She says, if you don't have sex with me in 48 hours, I'm leaving Moldova. I will never speak to you ever again, and this relationship will be over. And oh my gosh, I really hated this scene, especially because she brought up the money that she spent on him. In fact, this is how we found out about the nose job, because she uses it as an insult in the middle of this same exact conversation.
What do you feel special? What is it special about me? That I support you financially? What is it?
Now, this conversation bothered me for a few reasons, but one of the big reasons it bothered me is because I don't think that it's appropriate in any context for you to say, I've given you this much money, you need to have sex with me because I've given you money. I think we see this dynamic so often on the show where the foreign person who the American gave money to is backed into a corner and basically told, have sex with me or else. And it's abusive every time. And I think it was pretty abusive here, especially because she brought up the money. Like, it was like she wanted to pressure him into doing something because she sent him money. Now, Nikki blames this on being horny, and for people who might not know this, when you're post-op, some post-op trans women take a small dose of testosterone in order to normalize their sex drive, right? But still, that's not an excuse, right? There's, to me, no context where saying that stuff is okay. It's abusive, it's not okay. Here's the other area that it bothered me. When Justin and Nikki met, Justin was 18 years old. An 18-year-old man is going to have a way different sex drive than a 36-year-old.
Oh, so you're trying to kill me. So we have a sniper in the house.
Men are not always ready to go when you need them to go. But we think that's how it works.
No, bitch. You're trying to kill me. You know what, bitch? You want to kill me so bad? Here. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's do it.
As interested in having sex. Maybe Justin was really into having sex with Abraham, right? Maybe that's true. But he's changed.
You want to play games? I can shoot too. Oh, y'all are some weird people. Y'all are some weird people. Funny people. Get off of me. Get the fuck off of me. I don't do that weird shit. Get the fuck off of me.
That he would rather sit with you and be romantic instead of jumping into bed.
Well, y'all are some stalkers. Y'all are some stalkers.
Medic technology is truly extraordinary.
Cause I ain't with no teammates, so I have to just run away by myself.
Monstering you.
Now we're talking.
Objective lost. Defense point. Objective B.
Hey, it's kickoff.
God. Trying to be careful because I don't want to be ambushed, and now we have people ambushing, and they should not be ambushing. God, just leave me alone. Like, why do y'all have to stalk me though? Y'all really gotta stalk me though? Like, y'all really gotta stalk me though? Y'all really gotta stalk me though? Oh, y'all gotta stalk me though? Shit. No, I gotta stay in the background because I don't trust these people. Because what's gonna happen is the sniper gonna come out of nowhere, she's gonna shoot me, and I'm gonna be trying to. Shit, I gotta go. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to die. Cause you know what? Y'all could go. Y'all can go. Cause what I'm not gonna do is sit here and chase y'all. Cause that's what you guys want. Y'all want me to chase. Oh shit, oh god, leave me alone! That is so strange, like, are you kidding me right now? Well, at least that's happening again. They can go, honestly. Got no healer. If I were you, I'd leave it the fuck alone. I'm gonna wait till they go in. Bitch, you're using it first. I'm not using it before you. I just want you to know that. So don't you dare. Cause I know how you guys do.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
ridiculous, so I guess we're all dead.
Making a full recovery.
It's so strange to be frustrated by that. It's not that I don't understand why, right? When you're a transgender woman, sometimes you end up in these positions. Men are attracted to you, and they do many times with you, but they don't want to have sex with you. They're not interested in your body. And that can be really frustrating, so I do get that she doesn't want to waste her time just there for her, a relationship without a relationship, and without having sex. She actually accuses him of being asexual a few times in the show. That might be the case, but I think what it actually was is he is still adjusting to her being transgender. And he wants to work up in a natural way to be intimate.
A different character.
And I think in so many other contexts, that would probably be a pretty normal thing. But I think for her, as a trans woman especially, in the back of her mind, she's thinking, if I were cis, I would probably already be having sex. He would be all over me. And sometimes this can like wind up in your head to the point where you don't even accept that not all men are like that, that he probably would be treating you the same way even if you were a cis woman, right? I think that we don't talk enough about how not all men are just ready to go at the drop of a dime. I will, however, say that Nikki being in this cycle kind of feeds back into my point, right? Nikki is choosing to date a man who is the least likely to be informed and experienced and comfortable with her. And again, I know that for her and a lot of transgender women, the preference for men who are heterosexual and inexperienced comes from wanting to feel secure within the attraction. They want to make sure that you're actually attracted to them because you're a woman, right? Because there's some men who will come to transgender women to experiment and you don't want to be there. Like, I get it, right? I totally get it. But I think that when you allow your previous trauma to overwhelm you the way that it is overwhelming Nikki, you really can lose out on having some connections with people who just may have gone at a different speed. I'm constantly having to deal with this because I'm looking back at certain situations that I was in and realizing that in retrospect, had I been more patient, had I taken more time, I would have probably been able to connect with a certain person, right? But I know that Nikki feels pressed for time and feels like she doesn't have the time and patience to go through those baby steps, holding your hands phases. And that is the precise reason why I personally don't date men who are inexperienced unless they are incredibly confident about it, which they usually aren't. I don't feel invalidated by the fact that somebody is attracted to me, the full me, right? Complete me, right? And I think that more transgender women should embrace the idea that you can be validated through people other than this cis heteronormative structure. You really can. There are plenty of people who are bi or pan or whatever who have been with transgender women before who are also willing to see you as a woman, right? They don't need to be heterosexual, inexperienced, not particularly interested. They can be interested, and that's okay. They can be interested and still see and accept you as a woman.
Reality is hitting me in my face like, oh my god, he really is cold to me. He has never put me on his social media. He's never even wanted me to come to here. It makes me feel like I am the secret. It makes me feel like he's ashamed of me. It makes me feel so many feelings that I should not feel. And I don't deserve that.
Again, I totally understand where Nikki is coming from, but Justin is obviously feeling pressured, and he does eventually give in. When Nikki came out to Justin, he ended up telling a bunch of his friends and his family that she was transgender, and he ended up losing a lot of his friendships, and a lot of his family members no longer really want to talk to him. And it's clear that Justin is still struggling with that. decide to eventually go meet up with his puberty friends. When they meet up, the friends say in their confessional that they were initially taken aback by Nikki being transgender, but the meeting ends up going really well for the most part. We also find out a little bit more about Justin, and a lot of what his friends have to say contextualizes some of the ways that Justin expresses himself.
They killed her.
Apparently, Nikki is the first girlfriend of Justin's that a lot of them have ever met. Justin is apparently a very private person who doesn't really like to share a lot of information about who he's out with and who he's doing things with, and so he tends to keep his girlfriends private. And this also contextualizes a little bit of why he doesn't really want a lot of attention drawn to him when he's out and about. He's just a more private person who doesn't really like attention like that. Eventually the girls and boys split off in pairs, and when Nikki is talking to one of Justin's girlfriends, she shares that their sex life isn't going very well, specifically because Justin is not willing to reciprocate his sex. And I want to say first and foremost that, like, I'm a girl getting not mad for it, very happy that you are also getting treated in a way that you do. Right. But what a strange thing to say. I don't know. I would never turn to one of my partner's friends and be like, yeah, she's me out, so I'm not happy about it. I don't know. That's odd to me. I guess. When Justin is speaking to his guy friends, they ask some pretty rude questions. One of the questions is, does she have a P or a V? And Justin confirms that she does indeed have a V. Then, his friend asks if she acts like a man in the relationship. And without really much hesitation, Justin says, yes, she does. And what he means when he says this is that in their relationship, Nikki is playing a somewhat more typically masculine role. She is very demanding, and she is constantly trying to pressure him to have sex. And we get a bit more context for some of their intimacy issues when he shares that the fact that she is so demanding about it and demanding it all the time makes him feel disempowered. And he shares that what he would like in his relationship is to be able to lead the way that men typically do. And this brings us back to my favorite point to make in this video, which is that it just seems like this is what you get when you try to date a conservative man. One of the biggest drawbacks to dating a conservative man is that they're conservative, right? Like, that just comes with the territory. Dating a conservative man is going to come with them having a more typically traditional view of relationships. Of course, a conservative man is not going to be crazy about a woman who dresses incredibly provocatively, who wants to control him with her money, right? Like, these are things that conflict with a lot of conservative men's typical idea of what a relationship should be. It is not a coincidence that I dated most of my conservative exes during a time when I was incredibly invested in stealth, right? Like, it goes hand in hand, and I think that the big thing that's going to have to happen in Nikki and Justin's relationship is that they're going to have to come to a compromise, right? Because in all reality, this conservative dude is not going to just immediately not be conservative, and I kind of already think this is what's happening. Justin is putting a lot of himself out there. He has already challenged and changed a lot of his traditions, and they're gonna have to come to a compromise. And we actually see in the last episode that Nikki does eventually pick out a more modest dress, and she does end up going to meet the family in this more modest dress. Where I currently am, they have not actually met the family yet, but she does start to compromise, and I really think that is the only way this relationship could actually work. I think the fact that these two want to work on this relationship even after everything that's happened is admirable. But I keep coming back to what she said at the very beginning of the series, that one of the reasons she's holding on to this relationship is because she thinks this might be her last opportunity to meet a man who wants to marry a transgender woman. You know, as women, I feel like we really place a lot of value in marriage. And there's this idea that if you're my age and you're not married, there's something wrong with you, right? And I definitely remember hitting that point where a lot of my friends were getting married, and I was starting to think, like, when is it going to happen to me? And what's wrong with me for not having that? And at the time, I was in that relationship with my ex who grew up in Orange County and had a very conservative family and things. And I really wanted to get married to that guy. I was 21 when we met. I was madly in love, and he was who I thought I wanted to be with for the rest of my life when I had connected with him. And I am so happy that I eventually left that relationship, moved to LA, and pursued the things that I pursued. I really, truly am. And I've learned so much about myself that I think would have been a lot harder for me to find if I had gotten married. I've never believed in getting married to get divorced. And so when I tell you that I really wanted to get married to this dude, I did. And I thought very deeply about it at the time. And God, what I know about myself now, after going down this particular path, I really wish I knew it sooner. And I stayed in that relationship for longer than I probably should have stayed in that relationship, because in so many ways he validated me. And I would not have admitted that at the time, right? I would not have admitted that I wanted to be in that relationship because he was a heterosexual man from a conservative area who hadn't really been in a relationship with her, like all of these things, right? And when I thought about being married to him, it made me feel really good about myself. Like I reached a sort of life goal that I wasn't going to reach, or I thought was insurmountable because I was trans, right? And I'm so glad it didn't happen. I'm so glad that it is 11 o'clock at night right now. I'm sitting in my apartment.
No, can't kill them.
A chance to act on my observations. Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Evidence suggests a sniper.
Watch out. Lacking in form, lacking in function.
No!
No path is completely certain.
My sights.
Sojourn en route.
60 seconds.
I am always ready to learn.
Engaging thrusters.
Alex, you know what? You are nothing but a liar. And you always will be.
How can I adjust?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, whenever I'm like disappointed or annoyed, I'm just gonna be like, and Alex, or and Darnell, if you're watching this, you are nothing but a liar. And you always will be. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I might play Tekken 7 because I'm a little annoyed with the combat stuff right now. A very loud game too. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna play Tekken 7.